Number 7, I think that these arrows here, that this one's arguable. You could say that this is a maximum and this is a minimum in our domain, in our range. Our domain is going to be all real numbers for number 7 because of those arrows, okay? But there are some arguments that I would take in terms of the range. I say because those arrows are going off that they're continuing, so it's going to look like this. Okay, that's the way that I would interpret that. That is sometimes an issue with interpreting these things in these graphs. It depends a lot of really what the actual equation is. This is a function, so it all depends on what they did to graph it. I think this is a either a sine or cosine. I always mix the two up. Most people do. So that would mean that this is actually, if it is sine, then it's continuing like this. So it's continuing the same shape. In which case, your range would have a minimum value here at 1, 2, 3, and a maximum value at 2. And it would be equal to. I would not count it off if you gave me y is greater than or equal to -3. I wouldn't count it off just because of that. If you gave me a reasonable argument of the endpoints, the arrows going on. I personally think that this is a bad graph in terms of interpreting domain and range, because in order to do that, truly, you would have to know the function on this one. But that's neither here nor there. All right, number 8, and again, so you could make a frame if you made a frame in terms of your range. Your range would be from here down to here. Okay. Number 8, I can't make a frame because of our handy dandy arrows. Now, if I talk about domain and taking my pen left to right, I'm not hitting my pencil, I'm not hitting my line until I hit there. So I hit my line there, and that's going to be the point -1. But as I'm going along to the right past -1, I'm including all of the x values onto infinity. So it's every x value greater than or equal to -1. My range is going to be all real numbers because of these arrows. And if I were to talk about taking my pencil up and down, I would be hitting a line somewhere anytime. Let's see, 9 and 10. 9, be careful with these. This is your line here. Okay, now I want to ask myself if I'm looking at my x value, because remember, when we're looking for the domain, we're trying to think of what are all of the possible x values that could be if I were to touch my graph. What are all of the x values on my graph? Well, no matter what point that I'm hitting on this graph, x will always be equal to 2. Okay, my range, since we have the arrows, is going to be all real. Number 10 is going to be similar in that this case, though, it's horizontal. So the domain is going to be all real. And our range is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, -4. So y is equal to -4. Because no matter where I hit on that line, the y value is going to be -4. Number 11. All right, let's see. I'm going to go ahead and I'll pause the video and come back and do these two because I don't want it to get too long. See